Hey guys, and welcome to Raja Makes Money. How do we do in the markets today? And later on in today's stream, we'll also discuss some other stocks in the market that have been moving like crazy today. Hey, let's get it going. How do we do today? Sure, that's the number one question everybody wants to know. How did we do today? And we had a good day in the market. Once again, it's hard to lose in the market when you're writing puts to open and the stock goes up. But the key is you got to make sure you adjust. And, that's very big because as these stocks just keep going and going, if you don't roll up, your profits are going to be limited. But at the same token, if you're rolling up, you still risk the fact that they could roll down. And we'll talk about some stocks later on today that probably a lot of people thought were going to, they were going to have a great day in the market and got crushed. So you just never know. And that's why you have to play with a little caution and be careful. And because like I said, what goes up can come down just as fast. So you guys ready for this? We made $51,000 today. And let's take a look. There it is. So a lot of activity today. So for the week, we're up $103,000 in the first 2 days of the week. So it's moving pretty quickly, and yeah, definitely it's moving. So you want to definitely take a look at that. Like I said, so I'm going to explain to you guys what we did today and what adjusted the market and different things here at play. So I had yesterday we had 800 contracts each of the 115s and 116s. So I closed those positions and then I started writing the 118s and 119s when Apple was around 121, 122. Of course, as soon as I write those, Apple came all the way down to about 120. Then it took off to about almost 123.50 at one point today. And then it pulled back a little bit, but still a great day. Closed at 122.72. It's up a little bit after hours, and I will explain everything that we did. So where we sit right now going into tomorrow is we have $54,000 in play. So hopefully Apple continues to go up or stays the same. But like I said, you got to look at the different things. So these are the moves that we made today. I'll give you the full screen. So the first thing I did was I bought back 800 of the 115s, and I bought those back at 15 cents each earlier. So those are the ones we sold yesterday. So there wasn't a huge profit on those, but a nice profit, in a day. Then I bought back the 116s. I also bought those back at 15 cents as the market went higher during the day. And then I started selling stuff. So I sold 200 of the contracts of the 118s at 56 cents. And I actually bought those back around, I think, 39 cents earlier. And then I just kept selling more as the day went on to increase my position and grow it. So these are all the different things today. But it's tough because it's when the stock runs so much, the volatility goes way down, and then you're selling the stuff for 30 cents. So I mean, while 600 contracts at 30 cents is $18,000 in the scheme of things, it's really not that much because if you look, so like we sold those for 36 cents, already up 4 cents because those are 26 cents now. But it's tough, and like I said, you don't want to get too close to the stock price because if we get too close to the stock price, then you risk, getting handed right to you. So you got to always be careful with that, kind of stuff. So, definitely want to check that out. But back to here. So these are all the trades today that we did. So a lot of contracts moved today. So I probably moved about, 3,000 plus contracts today, maybe more than that. So that's all the moves. And the only thing I didn't get filled on, I had this open at the end of the day. Oh, I opened it earlier in the day, but it never got filled just in case because like I said, these stocks were going up and down throughout the whole day. So I figured, sometimes you can catch a couple of 100 contracts for a nickel or a dime and you make a couple of $1,000 extra dollars. So these are all the contracts that we moved today. So let's see, how many did we do? 200, 400, 600, 900, 1,400, 1,900. Plus another 600, so that's what, 2,500 plus another 400. Let's see, 3,100 contracts plus 16. So we moved today over 31 plus 1600. Oh my God. Okay. 31, 41, 4,700 contracts today I traded. So pretty heavy volume today for me, moving contracts. And we are sitting at the end of the day with 1,600 contracts open, as you can see. So a lot of movement today. But let's talk about some other stuff. So Apple is pretty solid after hours. It's up, 12 cents, 13 cents still. But let's talk about some of the other stocks that just got crushed today. Everybody this morning was all over Moderna. And this is what I said. Remember, you guys were all like vaccines and different things and this and that. So here we have a tremendous update. Moderna earlier in the day was $177. We'll pull up the symbol here. mRNA. As you can see, so the high today are 178.50. So that's just crazy. 178.50 was the high, and the low today was $130. And right now it's down. So at the end of the day, down 11 points at 141. So this is what I was saying. So you could have wrote, if you wrote those contracts when Moderna was 170 and you wrote like the 150 for $1, let's say you had 100 of those for $1,000. You're down $10,000 right now. So it's kind of scary. So something else that was pretty interesting I was looking at, and this is pretty cool. And this shows you like where the volatility levels are in some of these stocks when they're moving. If you look at Nikola, so this is everybody, is telling me electric cars and everything. So this is the big electric car scam. So this stock today, you can see the high was 19, the low 16. So if you want to, I mean, if you have a strong stomach and you really want to do something, I'll show you guys. Look at this. Options. This is crazy. I almost was going to do this. And like I said, I stuck to my guns and, did what I do well. This is insane when you look at this. Let's see. Option chains. All right, so look at this in the volatility. Let's see, what do you show? 16 of them. I was looking at this. You could write like the 1150, and it has a bit of 20 cents on it. Earlier today, it was as high as like 30 cents for the puts to open. So this is crazy. Like, let's say the 13. So the stock's $4.50 out of the money. So, I mean, that stock, you're talking about if it moves, you're talking it's only $17. So you're talking about like a 20, if it drops another 20%, but still 25 to 30 cents a contract. I mean, I'm surprised the volume's not a lot more, but these premiums are insane. So if I wanted to slam this stock, I could do some damage. Let's say I wrote, I could write 10,000 contracts for $250,000 of the 13. I mean, if I was a betting man, I don't think this. First of all, the founder is not going to sell all his stock. He doesn't want to tank the stock and see it, go down so fast. But you talk about just some volatility, huge volatility there. Yeah, but let's look at Moderna. So if you look at Moderna today, Moderna, I hope I pronounced it right. There we go. So yeah, so like I was saying with this, I mean, this is crazy. Like, look at the amount. So like, let's say the 140 right now is $8.60, but at one point today, this thing, was worthless. This thing was $1 when the stock was, all the way up here at 270. And imagine if you sold like the 175 earlier today. So this will kind of give you an example. So if the stock is at 140 and that put is going for $8 or $9, let's make it simple, we'll say $9. So that means if you would have wrote it today when the stock was all the way up here at 175 for $9, you'd be down $25 a contract right now. So this is what I was saying. You got to really, really know what you're doing and understand these markets, because I mean, you can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money fast. Now, once again, everybody always says Tesla. Okay, Tesla. So yeah, Tesla today was up, but after hours it's down. And this is why I keep explaining to people with Tesla. And Tesla is very volatile and, being added to the S&P 500. But the problem with Tesla is you have a CEO he's a genius and he's a nut job. So, what does he do after the market closes today? He tweets out, if we don't get our act together, we could lose a lot of money fast. I mean, it's like he just wants to destroy his company. It's almost like he can't control himself. But once again, the same thing. I mean, you have a $580 stock, you have a $17, but you can go all the way down here. I mean, you could play. Let's see here. Really be a big chain of them. Well, we don't want all those, but you can see here, you can go all the way down to like at like $500, which I don't think Tesla's going to go below 500 this week, but even at $500, it's $1.23. You write 1,000 of those contracts, it's 123 grand you can make. I don't think Tesla. I think Tesla at the end of the week will be below 585, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this market that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, when you look at the volatility in these, I mean, you can go all the way down here. You write the 520 for $2. You write 1,000 of those is $200,000. Right, 500 of them for 100 grand. So it's crazy. You have to really look at these volatilities, and this is why I was saying, like, and yes, Apple can, just as easy as it's gone up 2 days in a row, 3 or 4 points a day, it can go down 10 points in one day. Anything's possible, but there's nothing bad. Apple just got 2 upgrades. It's not at its highs. That's one thing I don't like. When stocks are at their highs, you have to be very careful jumping on the bandwagon. Well, always remember, somebody told me a long time ago, buy on the rumor, sell on the news. And it's very true, because a lot of these stocks, when they are going up, people have to remember, what goes up always seems to come down. It may be up 6 months, a year, 10 years from now, but there's always drops in it and stuff. And especially too with Tesla being added to the S&P 500, once all these people make these adjustments and it's added in there, it's going to, my guess is probably quite a bit. But so those are the things you want to look at, and that's what I look at. And that's why a lot of people, when they have stock suggestions, and this is why I stick to Apple. I have something that works. It works for me, and I know how to trade it, and it's what makes sense. For different people have different things. If you see something that makes sense to you, and you know something about it, look at it. But like I said, there is opportunity. So even in something like Nikola that is going to tank, the volatility is so strong, there is opportunity to make money there. And that's, the key that you want to look at. So like I said, back to like the Nikola example, if these things are at, these option contracts are just, there's so much money in it. I mean, like I said, 4 points, even at 1150. I mean, I don't think the stock's going to drop 6 points this week. Anything's possible. But if you look at the chart of Nikola for the last 6 months, it pretty much hasn't been below $10 at all. And then, spiked all the way to $77, $79. Plus, and there's a lot of volume. I mean, the average daily trading volume on it's like 42 million. Today it traded 70 million. So what that tells you is, so the owner or the ex-CEO who got ousted, he has like 90 million shares that he can sell. Well, a couple of things. One is, I don't think he wants to sell it at the lows. He's founded this company. His actions are his own fault. So I don't think he's going to, just dump it. Anything's possible. But he probably has some pride in it and wants to keep it. So, and the other thing is, figure like if the volume was 70 million today, that's probably 40 million on the sell side, 30 million on the buy side. So even if he dumped 90 million shares, like I said, I don't think he's going to do it at once, but even if he dumped 10 million shares a day for the next 8 days in the market's going to absorb it. And eventually this company could bounce back and, skyrocket again, just like NIO. I didn't look at NIO today. NIO has been running so hard. Well, and there you go. NIO down 10% today. Everybody last week, and I think Monday, we're telling NIO. Remember when it hit $58? Well, look at it today. Same thing. Let's look at the volatility on NIO. I knew a couple of guys that were playing NIO options today. or have been playing NEO options, I should say. Same thing, look at just that volatility. You can make a lot of money, but the thing is, when something drops 10% in a day, it's really hard to average down. I mean, if you were playing NEO and you had the 57s the other day, so okay, the stock's at $45 and the contract's $2. So if you were playing the $57 one for, let's say it was $3 on Monday, you're down $8 a contract right now. So it's it can move and just go up and down crazy like that. So but hey, if you guys have some questions, I got a few minutes. Let me check out the chat here. So I'm thinking correctly, I sell a put to open for like 78 cents. And if Apple goes up, the 78 cents goes down, and that is when I buy the put to close. That's from Bill. Correct. So you sell, let's say you sell the put to open for 78 cents. Even if Apple depends what put you're selling. Even if Apple goes down every day, there's 10, 15 cents of premium in there until the stock hits where it is, and that's why. Pull up here. That's why when you're looking at it, you have the over here the intrinsic value. So this is the intrinsic value above the strike prices. So I have on those 119s, I have $3.72 in cushion. So even if Apple, goes down, we have that cushion. So if Apple was to sit if Apple just tomorrow was flat, this contract, so this contract's as they get, pretty low already, but this contract that's like 38 cents. So this will give you an example. If the 118 is 26 cents, and I always look at stuff like this, and the 119 is 38 cents, there's basically 8, 9, 10, 12 cents in between. So this is where you have to look up. So like, do I take these 600 contracts, close it up, roll it up for an extra 10 cents? That makes me $6,000. So like when I rolled up these 115s, or let's say you rolled up these 115s today up to the 119s, they're 8.5 cents. You pick up 30 cents. So if I would have done that at, once, I could have made 24,000 on that trade, moved up to the, 119s and picked up another 30 cents. Let's say on 800 contracts for another 24,000, for tomorrow. And that's basically that was basically what I'm doing. But I'm still staying behind. Like sometimes I get really aggressive. Stocks at 120, 2 or something. I'm around the 122s. I'm playing very cautious because, like I said, as fast as it goes up is as fast as it can come down. And stuff. And that's where you got to look at. So like, let's say we did the here's the chart. Let's say we did the 122s. Yeah, they're $1.18, but Apple's moving 2-3 points a day. That $1.18, if Apple goes up 3 points, the $1.18 is going to be 40 cents. We made a lot more money. If Apple goes down 3 points, that $1.18 is going to be $3. We just lost 100%, almost 100% or more of our money, and then you're stuck. Chasing it. Like I said, it's not the end of the world because we can just roll up next week or we can roll down. I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do to hedge it. So that was another thing, like with the not Nikki, all these different names with Nicola. I was looking at it, so let me show you guys. So there's some different strategies. So people have talked, about different strategies and everything. So these are some of the different strategies that you could look at. So with Nicola, let's say we were going to do Nicola and KLA. Let's see. KLA and KLS and KLA. All right. So these are some other strategies that we could look at. So I want to get the one. Oh my God. Sometimes this is very uncooperative. No. All right. Let's shine. Let's say NKLA. Oh, it's not giving us the whole. I'll get the whole chart for you guys. some reason it's not displaying. Hold on, I'm not sure why. Let's see. Regular trade options. I want the chart. Oh, channels. There we go. All right. So this is where there's some other strategies that you could, look at. If you think Nicola is going to drop a little bit, you could look at, like I was showing you guys, sell that 113 for 25 cents. I think it's free money to pick up. And then you could buy, so you sell to open that, and then you could buy to open, betting on the stock to go down, like the 117. So you have that 25 cents, and then you could, if the stock goes down a point, you can make it on two different sides of the equation. I'm not sure why. Get this to load. Oh, it won't load the. Well, I don't know why we can't get this thing to work properly. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get something here. Trade. Not sure why it's not working, but unfortunately, I can't get the price. But so what you'd be basically doing is you would be hedging it, looking at to hedge it, and we would have two different plays going. So it's some people call it like a straddle, different things. So kind of like, for example, Apple, we have these all sold, and we think if we think Apple's going to drop, we could write the 120 or something for 60 cents, and if Apple goes all the way down to 119, that's worth $1, and then it just kind of hedges your profit. You're not losing any money. Let's say Apple went down 3 points. You pay that 60 cents premium, but as long as it's in the money, you basically would have your profit. And there's, like I said, there's so many different strategies to play, and we'll get more into that. I'm just more like, just want to get, because I know so many of you guys have never done option trading or any, and it kind of scares people. So I just want you guys to kind of understand it, get used to it, stuff like that. So let's see. Robert says, when you trade, are you only selling premium, or do you buy calls, puts, or stock? Yeah, so most of the time I'm just selling the puts to open to acquire stock, but I do buy regular puts and calls. I really don't buy much stock. To me, buying stock is pointless. Why buy stock when you can, buy options and make so much more money? Yeah, if you own a stock and it runs 10 points, you're going to make more than if you own the option and it runs 10 points. If you $1, if you own the option for $1 and runs 10 points, yeah, you made $10 a share instead of $1. But if you have margin, and the upside potential and long-term potential of the earnings is a lot less than doing the weekly option trading. So. And anybody else thoughts on Planter, PLTR? So I know a lot of people talk about that one. Oops. I don't know. I mean, it's down. I don't really follow it that much. We have to look here. My chart. Let's say we look at the 1 month chart. I mean, it's in 1 month's time, it's way up there. Let's look at the 6 month chart. So a $10 stock, I guess. This one's you got to look at the news and what makes it go. Airbnb valuations. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this one a lot. I have seen it in the news a little bit, but I don't really follow it. Once again, you're also, this thing on here. If we look at the 5-day chart, intraday, this thing got up to $33, hit a new high, and now it's at, $25. That's 8 point. That's a huge drop. That's a 8 times 4, 30% drop from its high. that's always worrisome. You know, kind of, not that it's not possible. That's what Apple did. It hit, you know, 135 and dropped all the way down to, you know, 103, you know, but Apple's a lot more solid. And, you know, for a software, you know, play, I don't know. Some of these are very, very risky. You know, and it's tough when you're playing like a low price stock that, you know, moves, you know, 5-10% in a day. It's very hard to play, and it's very hard to catch back up. Next one was that DDOG. It's another one I really don't, Datadog, I really don't follow it. But take a look at it, see what without knowing anything. Sometimes you can go with your gut feeling. Let's see, 6-month chart. So it hit high of 118, $95 today. It's bounced all over the place. So the last month, man, it looks pretty steady. It definitely had some drops in the last 5 days. Like I said, you know, honestly, I can't say a lot. I'd have to, you know, look at it and stuff. But, you know, when the market's up and you have a stock that's down 3%, that's never a good sign. And especially, you know, the other thing is to always remember with like, you know, with Apple and stuff, and, you know, it's part of the FANG stocks, and those are going to do good no matter what, you know, which is Facebook, Apple, Netflix, you know, like Microsoft, Amazon, you know, they're just solid, you know, stuff. So that's another thing, you know, like when you're playing the market, you want to look at, is, you know, just what's solid. And like I said, everybody has something different that works for them. So, yeah, definitely be interesting. Scott, what do you think of NVIDIA? I've watched that one a little bit. You know, all these, I think what you guys have to look at is, where is the value? Why will these be worth more today than they are, you know, next week or the week after? And that's what you got to look at. Like, let's take, for example, Apple. Okay. They're hitting on every front. They have the App Store crushing it. They have 4 new iPhones out, crushing it. You know, they have 2 or 3 new iPads. They have 3 new Macs, you know, their own chip, the smartwatch, you know, the Apple, the Amazon Alexa, you know, Alexa stuff. They have all these different things, and they're just crushing it. Like, they've got something, you know what I mean? And even if their stores are closed, they're still selling. They're in, you know, the AirPods, you know, they're in Costco, Walmart, you know, online. I mean, they just got that whole product to sell. And you know, it's a B2B play, and it's a, you know, a B2C play for the consumer. So, you know, it's like you know, like I said, they're just a solid company. And it's being ran. They have $192 billion in the bank. You know, even if the world shut down, they have money to last. And they're global. You know, I mean, so you have to remember, and this is another thing. While we're in a crisis here, you have to remember in China, they only have, you know, 7-8 cases a day of corona, you know, of COVID being. Australia, 7 or 8 cases of COVID a day. You know, while Europe and most of Europe and America is in a disaster with COVID, there's a lot of countries that don't have any problem at all. You know, they've shut their borders down. They mitigated damage and did a very good job on it. They suffered a lot worse than we suffered earlier on, but now we're suffering for it. You know, if you were looking for stuff to short, you know, that's going to go down short term, probably like sit down restaurant chains. You know, how much money is Olive Garden going to be making, you know, with all the states with, you know, no dining, no outdoor dining, you know, in some places now, or just patio dining, you know. Obviously I own restaurants here. I have, you know, one place that's 100% shut down, and I have another location that, you know, it's patio dining only and takeout. Well, we went, you know, you talk about a 70-80%, you know, hit in sales instantly. Don't let people sit inside, and you'll have that, you know, and it's, you know, today it's 30 degrees outside and, you know, windy. I wouldn't want to sit outside even with a tent. You know, it's still cold, and it's not good. It's not good conditions. And, you know, that's one of the things you have to look at, you know, but, you know, there's other chains like, well, like In-N-Out Burger is not publicly traded, but they're just crushing it, with their drive-throughs and Cane's Chicken and Chick-fil-A and, those, well, Chipotle is publicly traded. They're doing really well, with COVID because they have the app and people are ordering online. They go and pick it up. It's all, touchless paying. So these are all different things that you want to look at, but yeah, so somebody says Apple has so much money because their products are all overpriced. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how overpriced your product is if the consumer buys it. And like I said, everybody's entitled to make money. Somebody said, how overpriced is it? It's interesting. I always tease people because obviously I have a nightclub here. People come in my club and, let's say a bottle is, $250. And they go, oh my God, that's so expensive. That bottle costs you $40. Well, is it overpriced? Because they go to Vegas, or you go to a Vegas nightclub, and the same bottle that costs $40 that I sell for $250, they're selling in Vegas at a nightclub for $500 with like a $5,000 table minimum, and for 8 people. So I mean, basically every single person has to consume a bottle of alcohol plus. And like, if you've ever been to a Vegas nightclub, they have like 20% gratuity, 8% for the busboy gratuity, some table chart. I mean, it's ridiculous, all the stuff they add on, and plus they charge you for tax. So if you have a $5,000 table in Vegas, they charge you another 8-9% for sales tax. Where like most clubs and like when you go to most bars and you order a drink and it's like $8, they don't, like, taxes included. The bar is actually eating that thing. So like I said, what if somebody's willing to pay for it, God bless you, make that money. And Apple has done a great job on it. So but yeah, let's take got time for one more question. Let me look here. Let's see, somebody said about airlines. Yeah, airlines, so travel's way back down. I noticed that pricing on airline travel has tanked in the last 30 days. It was going up a lot more as people are traveling, but now it's slowing down. So somebody says, doesn't selling puts have unlimited downside risk? Yeah, but do you think Apple's good? So this is what we were talking about. This is why I play Apple. Apple's not going to $0 tomorrow. And the thing is, even if Apple went to 0, you can keep riding out that put every week and make more money. It's always going to be worth more money next week than this week. So that's another thing to look at, and that's why I like the puts to open. Plus, the other thing is acquiring the stock. If for some god reason it didn't make sense to keep rolling it out, or rolling down and trying to catch up to it, what's the worst case scenario? I'm going to own a bunch of Apple stock and just wait for it to come back. So like I said, there's all different ways to play it. However you like and stuff. It's just like I said, what are you into, what makes the most sense, and what looks the best. But to wrap it up, today we had a good day again, another $51,000 day profit, basically what we made yesterday. So for the week right now, we started the week at $5,008,000. So we're up $103,000 for the week. As of right now, after hours, Apple is up about 14 cents. So that's a good sign that it's not down. You don't want it to be down in the after hours, but looking good. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. For all the people from the Big Jackpot watching, don't forget I'll be live tonight at 6:30 on our Facebook. Also, don't forget we have a Facebook for Raja Makes Money Now. I think it has a couple 100 followers on it. Make sure you follow that. I appreciate everyone who, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Share these videos. Let everybody know about my new channel. All these videos that we're making right now and testing stuff, they're all coming down when we launch the channel. So if you haven't watched them, make sure you do. Lots of good input. But we're getting excited for the big launch of the channel, first week of January. We're just kind of building it up. And I think today we'll hit 2,000 subscribers on it. So thank you guys. Hope you all did good in the market today. And I will see some of you tonight for live play. Take care and have a great